Welcome back to the Focus ST built engine series. Today we're going to talk about Stage 3 Plus. It's going to cover your range of 650 wheel horsepower to 850 wheel horsepower max. So for number one on the list, it's going to be your 2.3 stroker kit, because a 2.0 is going to be harder to make this kind of power unless you're revving it to the moon. So you're going to want a 2.3 conversion. And it's going to be starting off with your Moly pistons. They're going to be a 2618 material with a H13 wrist pin. The compression is going to be either stock, which is 9.5 to 1, or 10 to 1 compression, which is going to be allowing you to run higher horsepower and spool sooner if you run a higher compression. And these pistons typically are rated for about 1,000 wheel horsepower, maybe a little bit more. And they're definitely the best pistons on the market currently for the 2.3 as we speak. The Moly pistons are also the best option for the 2.0 EcoBoost if you happen to want Moly pistons for over anything else. And here is the box that I got for my Moly pistons on the 2.3 stroker kit. That's all your basic information that you need. So all the pins came in here with the circlips inside. I didn't like the packaging compared to like Manly, so they don't have the foam in here that holds the pistons. They are wrapped up, but I don't really care for the packaging for Moly personally. Here is also the replacement piston rings for these pistons. They're 88 millimeter. So next on the list, number 2, is going to be your rods. I suggest running the boost line rods just because they're capable of more horsepower than the Manly Turbo Toughs, but not by a lot. You could opt to go to the Manly Turbo Tough I-beams, but personally I would just run the boost line rods because they're made to be stronger. You can withstand a lot more stress under load than any other rod that's been designed so far. So I think they're rated for 1200 wheel or 1200 horsepower crank, something like that. So they're pretty insane. But here is the part number for those. They come with ARP 2000 bolts, as like the other rods that you get for these applications. And I'm sure you can also upgrade the rod bolts to like an ARP 625, which can make it capable of more horsepower. So these rods have been proven over and over by the EMS Mustang, and they made, I think, 1200 or 1100 at the wheels with these. So that's why I recommend them over the Manly Turbo Tough I-beams. Number 3 on the list is going to be your 2.3 crankshaft. It's going to be a keyed crank. You're going to want your cylinder head swapped out if you don't have a 2.3. So if you have a 2.0, you're going to want to do your cylinder head swap to an RS cylinder head, or you can even do the 4-port cylinder head. That's up to you. You're going to also want stage 3 or 4 cams. Generally stage 3 is the most recommended stage that you're going to want to go for. Then you're going to also want the sleeve block for more than 700 plus wheel horsepower, and generally speed performance, I believe. And I don't know what EMS uses for sleeves, but the LA sleeves have been proven to be the best. You can actually ship your cylinder block to them and they do all the work. They hone it, you send your pistons out, and they'll do all that for you. Sleeving the block is going to allow you to make, this power number very reliable, because it's going to make the cylinders a lot stronger with that insert that's in there, and it's just going to handle a lot more boost pressure, like 40 psi plus. You're also going to want your block O-ringed after. So once you get it sleeved, you're going to want to get it O-ringed. This is definitely highly recommended because the OEM head gasket at this point is going to be worthless. You're going to need a O-ring block to be able to hold in all that cylinder pressure, and you know, you're going to want to run one of those like carbon style gaskets that they sell from EMS. And I think Speed Performance sells a head gasket that has rings built into it, and they're swappable, which is pretty interesting. I think it's like a $200 head gasket. So for number 4 on the list, it's going to be ARP 625s. It's going to be a 12 millimeter head stud. You're going to want 12 millimeter head studs to keep the cylinder head from warping or lifting, because a 10 millimeter generally isn't good past like 650 or 700 wheel horsepower on these engines. So generally you want to go to a 12, and that'll just keep things more stabilized essentially and more reliable. You're going to want ARP main studs. You're going to want the which is right here. Here's the main studs. So ARP 2000 main studs. ARP cam bolts are definitely recommended. That's what I have. You're going to want the ARP flywheel bolts. I don't think you have to, but you should, just in case. That way there can withstand more power at the flywheel. You don't want to shear your OEM bolts off. You're definitely going to want ACL main bearings and rod bearings. These are the main bearings right here for the +1 extra oil clearance, which I highly recommend because they can withstand more horsepower and more pressure under load. These are the rod bearings. I got these from Summit Racing, so if you punch that number in the search bar in Summit Racing, you'll be able to get those. And you can also get the Molly pistons from Summit Racing, or anything Manly. And also you're going to obviously want your balance shaft delete kit. So EMS just recently released a balance shaft delete kit. I don't think they have a baffle for the oil pan yet, but I recommend getting the JBR baffling. It looks pretty nice. It's like an anodized black or something like that. It's really, really cool. So yeah, this is pretty much the built engine series. This has covered a lot of info for you guys. Hopefully everyone's learned a little bit, and you know, there could be probably a stage 4 which could go here. I just don't know if there's really a necessary spot for doing that, because I'd rather do something else that's more helpful to relay more info out to you guys. And also, in order to help relay the information, give the videos a thumbs up. That'll help get the algorithm and the videos out there to people that need it for the info for these cars. If they're a newbie or they just want info, they want to build these engines, they want to learn something about like timing their engine, you know, doing certain things, and I have it on my videos. If you give it a thumbs up, YouTube will send that video out to more viewers. So I appreciate the comments, likes, subscribers, and we'll see you on the next one.